Imagine this. You're a 911 dispatcher, working the late shift. The night is calm until the phone rings. It's an emergency call from Imperial Memorial Gardens, a funeral home and cemetery in Colorado. But when you answer, no one speaks. There's only silence. Then, click. The line goes dead. Hiu ungam than chokabai. You call the number back. The phone rings, and then someone, or something, picks up. But there's no voice, just a strange crackling static. And then, a faint whisper, barely audible. Help me. A history of death and mystery. Imperial Memorial Gardens has been around for decades. Thousands of people have been laid to rest there, but some locals believe not all of them have truly moved on. The funeral home has been the subject of eerie rumors for years. Whispers of strange noises, flickering lights, and shadowy figures seen wandering between gravestones long after dark. Employees have reported unexplained cold spots, objects moving on their own, and a persistent feeling that they're being watched. One former worker even claimed to hear sobbing coming from an empty viewing room. But never before had something so terrifying been caught on record. A call coming from within the funeral home itself. The police investigation begins. Concerned that someone at the funeral home might be in distress, the dispatcher alerts local police. Officers are dispatched immediately, preparing for the possibility of a break-in, a prank, or a real emergency. When they arrive, they find the funeral home completely locked up and empty. No lights, no movement, no staff on duty, no sign of life at all. Yet, the 911 call records confirm. The call had come from inside the funeral home. Something watches from the darkness. The officers circle the building, searching for any possible explanation. A forced entry, a door left ajar, a malfunctioning phone line. But everything appears undisturbed. Then, one officer shines his flashlight through a window and freezes. He swears he sees a shadow move. Another officer steps closer, and suddenly, a faint whisper drifts through the air. They immediately force their way inside, weapons drawn. Their footsteps echo as they move cautiously through the dim hallways. But there's nothing. No intruder. No sign of movement. Just rows of caskets, silent and untouched. The air inside is unnaturally cold, and an unshakable feeling of being watched creeps over them. It's as if something unseen is still there, waiting. Then, the radio on one officer's belt crackles to life. Through the static, they hear a chilling voice, distant and hollow, say just 2 words. Get out! The officers don't hesitate. They quickly search the premises one last time but find nothing. No explanation, no logical reason for the call. Their instincts scream at them to leave, and so they do, never speaking of what they experienced that night again. An unexplained phenomenon. With no physical evidence of a disturbance, the officers eventually file their report. But they can't explain what they heard or saw. 911 operators and emergency responders have reported similar cases across the country. Calls from abandoned houses, distress signals from empty buildings, even voices on the line belonging to people who had passed away years before. Months after the incident, another 911 dispatcher receives a nearly identical call. Same number, same funeral home. The only difference? This time, when they redial, the phone is disconnected. So, what really happened at Imperial Memorial Gardens that night? Was it a technological glitch, a lost spirit reaching out, or something far more sinister? One thing is certain, the dead don't make phone calls, or do they?